A few more tips for your Mac that are useful. Let's get into it. All right, welcome back to my channel. Now, if you're new to my channel, definitely check out my backlog of videos. I'm going to put some stuff up here right now really quickly, and you can see that I have like 200 or 300 videos of technical stuff, related stuff about reviews and everything. What I'm going to be doing coming up shortly too is a lot of good reviews on products. I have like an Apple Pen replacement and some things coming up shortly, so subscribe if you can. This video though is going to be about Mac tips, and if you are, I have a lot of people that do watch my videos. And if you're one of those, you know kind of how I operate. I don't like to give 50 tips in a row or 60 tips because you're going to sit there and scratch your head and be like, that was a good tip, but I can't remember what in the world it was. So anyways, I like to do 4 or 5 sometimes. And that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to do 4 or 5, and they're not going to be in any particular order. They're going to be kind of random tips. But if you like, MacOS and Macs in general, these are some tips that are going to work with various programs sometimes that are built into it, or it could be working with Finder, well, you name it. So just little tips here and there. And hopefully you guys like it. If you do subscribe and click the like button, I'm going to have videos a lot more extensive than this sometimes, and sometimes I just do small ones like this. So subscribe if you can. Talk to you soon, and let's get into it. I'm going to do a screen share here and show you my screen, and then we'll get into the tips. And then at the end of the video, I'll wrap it up by coming back and just seeing what you think. All right, this first tip is going to be one that a lot of people know about, so I'm going to go through this one quickly. If you go in here to Launchpad right here, and you can see, you might be able to scroll through a ton of different apps, and it's hard to find things. One thing you can do, if you look down here, I have all these different games. All you have to do is just grab a game, click on it, drag it on top of another one, another game like that, see that? And then you can go up here and just click on this here, and even though it looks like you can't change it, you can. Games, I'm just going to change it to the same thing, but you can change it to anything you want. Then you can click off of it. Now it says games there, and then I'm just going to drag the rest of the games in there just like this, and now I have all my games in one folder at the end, and I don't have as many things I have to scroll through. So it's a good idea just to clean up this area inside Launchpad. That's tip number 1. All right, so for tip number 2, I get a lot of questions like what's a useful program that's kind of like Paint on Windows, like Windows Paint, where you can just do some very, very basic editing of photos. So one thing you may not know about is obviously you probably all know, let's say these are all images. You all know you can click the space bar, right? And it'll give you a preview of the image. So that's pretty easy. Just click the space bar, click it again, it goes away. But if you double click on an image, it's going to open it up in preview. And you can see up here that now it's opened up and it says preview up here. See, preview. So this is a different program. Inside of here, you can do some basic editing. A lot of people don't even know this is available. So what you can do is you can go up here to Tools, you can see it here, and you can go to Adjust Color. And so like right off the bat, if you have an image or a photograph of people and stuff, this isn't people, but you have auto levels, you have exposure you can change. I mean, you can change contrast, highlight, shadow, saturation, whatever you want here you can change. And then you can go ahead and, click on it like this and make the changes that you need to make. The second thing you can do, and again, this is a lot of things people don't know about, is you can go back up to Tools, and not only that, you can adjust size. So if you look at this will let you go in and you can fit to custom. You can do width by pixels or by percent inches, just like you can in Paint or Photoshop. You can change the resolution, the scale, and then click OK, and that'll actually change the size of it as well. So this is just tip number 2. If you want to do basic photo editing and stuff like that, you can do it in here. And so number 2, and I'm going to show you, tip number 3 is going to be very similar. All right, along the same lines, the same thing with preview, you can use it kind of like a Paint program. So if you look at this, I'm going to go ahead and double click on this image. It's going to open up the image up here. This is in preview, you can see it up here. So there's a little pen here near the search bar. It looks like a little pen in a circle. Click on that and it opens up this secondary, this window down here, see over here. Now what this does, just kind of like Paint, just basic stuff. If you click on this text over here, look at this. It's hard to see it down here, but because of the size, you can go ahead and it creates a text box. That text box will allow you to change the size and everything, right through here. So let's go ahead and change that so we can see it. Let's make it, let's go ahead and make it blue or white. So you can see it here, it's text. The thing about this is you can make, put text over just like you could on Photoshop or anything like that. You can also then go in over here and you can click on all these different symbols. For example, a star, like this, and you can go ahead and put that over there. You can change the colors of all these. So you even have, even in this menu here, you can go ahead and click on this, adjust color, and you can adjust the same thing I showed you before. You can adjust the color of the image this way as well. But you have text in here. You can put in different lines in here. There's just you can sketch as well. So there's a lot of different things you can do up here that are similar to just basic Paint, that are not, going to be extravagant, but just to get by, it's another way you can do it. Just click on this little bar here, see it opens up those features. All right, for your next tip, this is just a little thing about Finder. So if you're in Finder, and I'm kind of in Finder, obviously, you can see this is typically what you'd see. You know that you can go ahead, and I just talked about this. You can click on a file and open it up like this as you go through it. And you can see what the files are. That's an easy way to preview it, but it's actually not as easy as doing something else. So if you don't want to keep clicking the space bar, just go ahead and click on this, and then you want to make sure you're in Finder. Go up to View up here, and then go down to Show Preview. See it right there? And see, it opens up this bar over here. And so when you're going through this, you can go ahead. Now you can see all the images over here on the right-hand side as you go over them. You can see them a little bit clearer. And on top of that, let's just say this is not big enough. Not so much for an image. You can kind of tell what that is. But let's just say you had a PDF file like this, and you wanted to see what this text was. You can't really tell. All you have to do is just grab this bar and slide it. And look at it. It makes this way bigger. So now I can almost read all the text there. See this? And if you actually have multiple pages, which I don't in this, if you have multiple pages, there's going to be little arrows down here. You can click left and right, and you can go through the pages, so you can actually see multiple pages without actually opening up the file. All right, and the next tip's just a little different. So let's just say you're on your desktop. Make sure you're not clicked on anything except just click on the desktop. And if you want to kind of just rearrange your icons a little bit, just right click with your right mouse button if you have that, or your trackpad. And then what you want to do is just go down to Show View Options right here. It's going to bring open this box, see over here. Now you have a lot of flexibility what you want to do cleaning up kind of your desktop or what you want to do with these icons. For example, you can go ahead and you can icon size. You can make them way bigger, way smaller. Depending on your eyesight, you can go ahead and change that. Grid spacing, you can make them more spread out or less spread out. See that? So that helps you as well. You can also see the label position here. You can actually change that. You can go ahead and move it to the right over there, the bottom. So you can do a lot of different things. You can also do show item info, and it's going to give you some information about like the time on it. See how it says like 1:11 for this movie. It's going to have a little additional information on there. And you can also stack by and sort by, different types of things. So just go ahead. That's a little tip there. If you want to go ahead and change the way your desktop looks a little bit, go ahead and fool around with that and see how that all works. Just something cool to fool around with. All right, so what did you think? Not too bad. So a couple different things. A lot of people, when they first get a Mac, they're always like, well, what's a program like Paint, or what's a program that I can do small edits on images? And that's, Preview is perfect for that. You can annotate, you can do whatever you want on there, and hopefully that helps people out. The other thing is when I'm looking at the different tips that we're giving you, these are tips that may not all fall in the exact same, suite or the same direction, but they're kind of, different tips that I like to give. So hopefully it does help people overall. I just, tips like, being able to expand the window to see the files larger, like I showed you a couple minutes ago. It's a small tip, but it hopefully helps people in the long run. If you guys can subscribe to my channel, it's going to really help me grow the channel. I have, like I said, almost 290 or something videos up there now, and growing. And in order to continue, I need to get the support. Subscribe and click the like button if you can. Again, this is a short video. Some of them are going to be more in depth than this, but sometimes people just like to, sit back and watch a really short video. That's what this one was. Hope it helped. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.